My name is Megan Russell-Currie, and I am a clinical psychologist, and I'm the founder of Mind Matters.
And I'm Tiffany Thomas-Smith, and I'm an attorney, and I am the founder of the Thomas-Smith firm and also the president of the Bucks County Collaborative Law Group.
So how can you help your college-age child understand what's going on in the divorce?
That's a big one. I'm noticing more and more in my practice that college-age students are having trouble with that transition. And it could be for many reasons, and it could be for technology, it could be differences in distress tolerance, whatever the case may be, but they're having more difficulty. Then you add divorce into the mix. And it's important to know the risk factors for the transition in and of itself, but then the added risk that's associated with divorce, especially in the beginning stages. You want to look out for a number of things. One of them is social isolation, anxiety, it could be trouble with their grades, it could be excessive binge drinking, you name it, but it's important to recognize what those risk factors are, and communication, again, is key.
Exactly. You pretty much hit on so many of the issues that we see. I'm generally dealing with the parents, of course, and a client who is going through a transition themselves, and then having a child go off to college or make another major change in their life, and there is just an elevated sense of concern about your child that's not home. There's concern about the financial aspect of that. Who's going to pay the tuition? The child's no longer a minor; they're considered an adult, and we all know their frontal lobes are probably not developed. You can speak to that more than I can,
yes.
Particularly with our boys. But that is something that we, even as a lawyer, I know that I don't have any legal control over what happens with that child, but they're still a child. And
Correct.
We need to be fully aware of how it's impacted the entire family. Those transitions back home during the holidays might be incredibly different for that child now. Because are they coming back to mom's house? Are they coming back to dad's house? The communication piece is huge. There's also, as I said, the financial piece to this. Because the child is no longer a minor, there's no more child support. Child support stops in that case. Tuition is not required to be paid for. Generally, our marital settlement agreements do not include payments for tuition because that's contracting with another adult.
Mm-hmm.
So there are creative ways, though, that we can help our college-age children and these families in these transition periods. Because if it's a common goal for the child to go to college, I think it's always, or should always be, that both parents want that child to be successful or want that person to be successful. And they want them to, again, be happy and be healthy. So how do we go about achieving that goal? Well, from our perspective, if I'm working with another attorney who understands that a parent doesn't have to pay for college, we can certainly encourage them to explore ways to make that a financial possibility. In our collaborative law group, we actually have a financial professional whose practice is centered around planning for college. So when there's a divorce, and that hasn't been a factor before, a financial factor, there are other sources out there that we can work with from the legal and financial perspective, and certainly supporting the child from the emotional perspective